I'm just finishing up active years for the Lyford dynasty almost, because it's over 100 years of being magicians. Hello, Silent Willow. This is the third tree, so I just finished all of the family, the years, all that stuff, and now I'm just doing the how many people in this Lyford family were magicians and what years they were active as being magicians, ending with Felix, who did a huge conundrum which caused their family to be unable to continue in the profession of magicianary, because he kind of did a big faux pas. Where person. Okay. 58. He made a mistake during a performance at the Coliseum of Magic, and his mistake caused the trick to be revealed, the illusion to be revealed, which is something you never do. You never, a magician never reveals their secret. Um, it was an accident, of course, but the damage had been done. It had been done in front of the whole crowd, and it basically tainted him, and it tainted the Lyford name from that moment forward. So there's a whole bunch of male Lyford nieces and nephews who, well, not nieces, but nephews who cannot, who can't get work as magicians because people are like, oh, you're related to him. You know what I mean? Okay, let's look at Hugh. Lucky 1666. It certainly was. And so he's one of the main characters. He's kind of like the mentor, but also a main character in my story because he's, going to be looking for redemption to redeem himself and his family name when he helps my main character to enter the competition of magic. Anything for 16 would be 89, right? 1689. So 89 minus 66 is 23 years active. Well, now when you break one of those, there's like a certain number of rules that you just don't break as a magician, and that's like in the top three. Um, and no, there is no redeeming oneself or untarnish their name, but he's going to attempt to do so um, by in secret entering the well, not in secret, but just in like disguise. He's gonna enter the contest with this girl and join her troupe and this whole bunch of stuff. Okay, Ashby Lyford. This tree was actually took me a long time to do, but I powered through it because I really wanted to get this one done. Because I was really excited to see. This is like the only family tree that's going to show the dynasty of a family with that's littered with all these magicians in it over a long period of time. So I really wanted to do this one, but it took me a while because there's 5 brothers, and it was difficult for me to figure out how to represent the 5 brothers in the tree until I realized not to do it horizontally but to do it vertically. So this tree, the top half, or the top third, is horizontal, but once we get to the 5 brothers, the tree becomes vertical. I'll zoom out and show it in a second. I just want to finish the fifth brother right here, who is Ashby Lyford, who happens to be Felix's uncle, and the only living brother of the five brothers. So there were five brothers that became a troupe and did their magician act, and the only surviving one of the five is Ashby Lyford. And he does not take kindly to Felix because of what he did. Because now Ashby's son, who was two sons who were both magicians, ended up losing their jobs, basically their livelihood, because of what he did. But anyway, let me get back to this. So 67. And then he will have done the same as Hugh, which is stopped working when his sons became of age. So 59, well, 60 was 16, it would be 76 minus 175. So 1675. Wow, he didn't do much, did he? 3, so only 8 years active, which would have made him even more bitter because he only performed for 8 years. He stopped to train and teach his sons, only to have it that his sons couldn't work. Sad but true. Okay, so Jonathan Lyford is... Where's Jonathan? He's the firstborn of Ashby. 1959. I just did the math on that. It was 7675. 1675. And then he was active right up until the point when Felix did his faux pas, which would have been, let's see, 73, let's do the math, plus 16, 73 plus 16 is 89. So from 1689, and then his wife left him. Oh, I need to write this down. There's a lot of math here. Need to write down the whole Felix story. Okay, so Felix marries Victoria, and they would have been young lovers. 1690. Felix, magician, when he was 16, which would have made 89. 1689. Okay, first he becomes a magician. A year later, he marries Victoria. She leaves him. That's the part I need to figure out. So 1681, 1710. I need a calculator so I can see how long they were married. 1710 minus 16, and she leaves him for his brother, his older brother, 29. Okay, so when she was 28, which would have been 1709, so Felix it would have been in 1710 when he stops magic, or when he has the faux pas due to his life crumbling. So Jonathan Lyford would have lost his job in 1710, which would be 25, 35 years. So he had a good run. And then Astor is his brother, right? No, it's his cousin, excuse me. 1660. 1676 to 17. So everyone's career is going to basically end in the year 1710, which is 15 years prior to the present day. So 76 to 1710 is 34. And then we've got Lucas. He's, okay, 61 plus 16 makes him 76 as well. Really? Then I must have done Astor wrong. Oh no, this is 77 to 1710, which would be 33 years. Oops, years. And then Orson the second is 86. 1686 to 1710, which is 24 years. And then Felix is 1689 to 1710 as well, which is 90, so it's 21 years. Okay, so this is messed up. I don't know how this got pushed over, but let's push it back. Come on. Zoom in. There we go. We're going to take this and this, and let's move it down. Let's give him some breathing room. Let's move Victoria down a bit. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out now so you can see what I mean when I say it goes vertical. So if you look at the very top here, there's Adam Lyford and Rose Rochester at the top. I wish there was a way for me to highlight. But then there's one straight line going like almost to the bottom, and so from right to left is each brother. So it starts with Rhett Lyford, who's the oldest brother, and then she had Fox Lyford, and then there's Orson Lyford, and then Hugh, and then Ashby. So those are the 5 sons that Adam and Rose had. And then branching further out left and right, you've got the wife and then the children. So in the case of Fox Lyford, he's interesting because he ended up marrying the ex-wives of his brothers, and so for instance, Laura Chudwell, he was his first wife, and she married him after Rhett Lyford died. So Rhett Lyford, the older brother, died, and she went on to marry his brother Fox and had 2 children with him. And then he married Eleanor Wakefield, which actually isn't an ex-wife of a brother. She's actually the ex-wife of a Conroy. So she's over here with Jacob. So she was married to Jacob Conroy until Jacob passed away in 1684, and then she had dalliances with Fox, and they got married, and in 1685 she had a child, and then she had twins in 1686. Then Felix, and which is basically his nephew, okay, he married his nephew's ex-wife. So she wanted to have children. Felix did not. He wanted to remain a magician, did not want to have children, so she left him and went on to marry his uncle, Fox Lyford. Had 2 children. However, if you notice, the first child that Victoria Ravenswood had is named Felix Lyford II because she is aware, as is Fox, that Felix is actually Felix Lyford's child. When she left him, she was pregnant, and she thought that he would be upset, or really it's that she knew that he really loved being a magician, and she was afraid that he would leave being a magician to help her take care of the child, and she didn't want him to do that. So she left him. However, she did leave him and go marry his uncle, and so they have 2 children, Felix Lyford and Tabitha Lyford. However, due to the faux pas that happened, Felix will never get the opportunity to be a magician because he's a Lyford. So, and no one is, giving a job to a Lyford. So, Felix will never get a job. And I think that's really the only male, other than the ones who were working for like decades anyway, so it's like, is it such a big deal? The only one who's really angry about it, and he's still alive, and he was only a magician for 8 years, is Ashby Lyford, because he stopped being a magician to help his children, and then look at what happened. But in any event, I need to move this up, so this is what I'm going to do to do that. I have so many layers, it's not even funny, the number of layers that I have. Like, I don't know how I'm keeping track of them all, but let's scroll up. Okay, I'll zoom all the way out so you can see the 3 family trees. I'm about to export this one as soon as I'm not finished with it yet, but as soon as I'm finished with it, I'm gonna export it and put it up on my website with the other ones. But I'm about to move something, so I needed to take away so that I could highlight like this, shift click and drag it up a little bit because it was too close to the edge there. Okay. But yeah, so unfortunately I stopped doing the Davenport family tree, so that one is not complete because that one's going to be just as complicated as the Lyford family tree. But you've got the Conroys on the upper left, you've got the Moranigan on the upper right, and then you've got the second row is Davenport family tree, and the Lyford family, second row on the right. So the other ones I have left to do are the Smythe family, and then the Beaumont family is my main character, Charisma Beaumont. Her mother is a Smythe, so that's why I'm doing that family tree, to show where or how her father is a craftsman who was taught and was an apprentice and taught how to do or how to create wands specific for magicians, and the reason why is because he married into the Smythe family, and that's how he got that job. So her mother has since passed away, but I want to show that connection, and plus she's the main character, so I feel like her family tree is kind of important. It won't be big, because I'm going to show some of his family, show how so I'll go like maybe 1 generation back, like show his parents and his brothers and sisters, show that he married a Smythe, and then that they had her, and like, so it'll be like super small for the Beaumont family, and then the Smythe family is going to be pretty big because similar to the Lyford family, it's going to show over 100 years, specifically 115 years worth of Smythes who have been instrumental, paramount, and exclusively designing, crafting a magician's wand, for all true and real magicians. So that's going to be complicated. The Davenport family is going to be complicated. So you could say I did the easy ones, which is not saying much, but I need to fill in one more name, and then the Lyford family tree I think is done. Let me just look it over, because what I do is I copy and paste the same name over and over and over again just to line it up. So I need to make sure that I don't have any duplicates that I shouldn't have. Now, interestingly enough, there's a name here that appears, there's two names here that appear in a different family tree. Victoria Ravenswood is one, the other is Ashley Carlisle. Ashley Carlisle appear in the Moranigan family tree because Ashley is actually a dude, okay? But there's something really specific about Ashley in that when Ashley was together with Clara West Moranigan, she was pretending to be a man. And so when she got pregnant, it had to be very hush hush, very secret. They could not make their marriage or their love affair public because, you know, upholding the tradition that there should always be a male running the Moranigan shop. So he got fed up with the arrangement and he left her. And he left her and married Martha Lyford, where he could be himself. They got married and had twin girls. So Ashley Carlisle is not like Ashley Carlisle II, although I guess she could be, but she's a she and he's a he. But Martha throws that in, or used to throw that in Clara's face all the time, that because she knew the secret because Ashley told her that, you know, he was in a relationship with a Moranigan, and so she knew that, you know, Clara West Moranigan was really, you know, in secret as a man, or living her life as a man when she really was a woman, and etc., etc. But in any event, Ashley Carlisle is an interesting story that'll probably never be told in any of my books, but still, I think that's just so interesting that turned out to be that way. And then I have a lesbian couple here, and I'm seeing right here is where I need to fix it. So I have 1, 2, 3 names I need to fix, because I copied and pasted Martha Lyford like 5 times here. So this is going to be a man's name, so let's fix that. Let's fix that. Gideon Wakefield, +4 is 39. They will have had a son. William, he will have been born in 17. Grand total of 15. Okay, and then over here. Okay, I kind of want to take the family name of someone I've already got, so let's look. Let's find someone I've already invented. I love it. Nah. What about a Smythe? What about a Smythe? I dig it. Those Smythes everywhere. Okay, You're gonna be a young thing. I should make you 33. Okay. Alright, Addison. You are the last of them. Okay, so now this tree should be done. Let me just do one last look over, make sure nothing is repeated. I don't think anything is repeated. I think we're good. Okay. You know what? I wasn't going to put this, but I will. I've been trying to say any child under the age of 5. I'm only listing them as their first name, but I'll put that was Kenneth West II. Okay, so now I'm going to download this. Whoops. I don't know why that happened. Let's save it first. And then we'll download it. And I'm going to put it up on my site. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the little note. I forgot to put this little note. As recorded in the year 1735. Alright, let's put this down here. I download both a JPEG and a PNG. I've always been in that habit to download both. Okay, so now that's there, so okay. Now I can export it. Save. Excellent. Okay. So now I will show you my website. As soon as I can get this thing to finish saving. Let's close all these windows. I don't need them anymore. At least not right now. Okay, so let's see. internet is right here. To leave some of this cut off because I hate to resize my window. Okay, so here is where that stuff is. So it's under projects. So right here I have my current project, World of Magicians. So if you go to this, if you click on that, it will take you here where I'm filling things in like facts and characters and stuff. But right here is where I have the family trees right now. So the Conroy family tree is there, the Moranigan family tree is there. So now I'm going to add the Lyford family. And it will only take a second. Whoops, shoot, that was not what I meant to do. Double clicked on the wrong thing. Here we go. Let's give that a minute to load. And I'm gonna come here and duplicate this and move this down to separate. Lovely. Oh my god, what is happening here? Oh, okay. Never mind. So align this to the center. Full size, please. Okay, so now we've got 3 family trees on my website. Took less than 2 minutes. Let's view the page, see what it looks like. Boom. Beautiful. Isn't that sweet? That's pretty sweet. I like it anyway. Oh, okay, so we can get out of here now. Also, Silent Willow, you probably don't use YouTube, but I think starting in August, I'm no longer going to be streaming on Twitch. I'm probably just going to be streaming on YouTube. Right now I'm streaming on both, so we'll see how that goes. But I might just finally be able to let go of streaming on Twitch and just stream on YouTube whenever I go live. So we will see how that goes. But like I said, right now I am streaming in both situations. I just realized something that's bothering me. I feel like this is not lined up right. This be like this, and then why is this so far away? I'm gonna have to re-upload this because I don't like how the spacing is here. It looks funky. See, now that spacing looks better. And also because he's a son, he's not supposed to be eye to eye. He's supposed to be like this. Husband and wife, I'm connecting from their name, from one name to the... Yeah, like what is going on here? That's better. Which means this is way... I was not paying attention at all here. I'm gonna have to redo this. Okay, so let's take this again. Move it down like that. Okay. So a child is gonna have that line, that horizontal line in between their name and their year, but married spouses are going to have the line connecting their names. So it looks like I did not have that happening throughout. Let me make sure it's happening over here. Okay, spouse, children, spouse, children. Good, good. Oh, I do have a Sophie Lyford up there. Didn't I use Sophie later on? Could have sworn I used that. Or was it Sophia? Yeah, I have Sophie Lyford here. How did I not see that? I mean, it's fine, but I'm just shocked that I didn't notice that I used that name twice. That's alright. Naming children after a former family member is not unusual. You might not have my YouTube. I don't even think I have my YouTube like listed here as under like a command. Yeah, I have Victoria Ravenswood twice. I should have that twice. That I know, because she married two different men, so she's on here twice. If that's what you meant. Like in this instance where she's on here twice, it is the same person. In the other instance with Sophie Lyford, these are two different people. The Sophie Lyford from the late 1500s died in 1641. The other Sophie Lyford is a child of someone else. I should probably figure out a way to distinguish the fact that they're the same woman, but I mean, I would be able to do that if I were doing a Ravenswood family tree, for instance. I would have her name and then I would show that she had two husbands, right? There will be I'm gonna have a record of marriage, and so what I'm gonna do is just list the years of marriage for every pairing that I have, because some of them kind of overlap in instances where the spouse died and then the wife or husband or whatever remarried someone else several years later, had children, etc., etc., etc. So it's nice to see it this way, but I actually want to see like just one sentence, like Patience, or Jasper married Patience, had 3 children. Patience passed away in 1596, and then Jasper married Heather Cropley in this year and had 2 children, or had 1 child, that sort of thing. So I want to do like one-line sentences for that would attach with each family tree, so that way I can better visualize what went down. with each marriage. Because if you see, the start of this family tree is one man, and he had two wives. So he married Patience first on the left, because it goes from left to right, and then he married Heather Cropley, who is a Cropley sister, and she has two sisters over here, who did quite well for themselves. You've got, and so they're all sisters. Jessalyn Cropley, who became queen, Frances Cropley, who married the younger brother of the king, and then you've got Heather Cropley, who married into the Lyford family. So it's three sisters, which another family that's really ingrained in all the family trees, but is probably not going to get their own. The same thing with like Laurel Chudwell. She is related to Grace Chudwell over here, who unfortunately was you could say a prostitute, and so she got pregnant at the age of 15, gave birth to twins, and died. And Laurel Chudwell is a distant relation, not that distant, but related to Grace Chudwell, excuse me. But yeah, I've got like all the backstory and stuff on all of them. Let me re-download this family tree, and then tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow because I actually have things to do tomorrow, but I'll try to stream tomorrow afternoon, in which case Silent Willow, you'll probably be able to join because I won't be doing a morning stream. But I'm going to try to do one tomorrow afternoon where I'm going to tackle the Smythe family and the Beaumont family. So today or tonight, I'm going to work on the hand drawing thing, like this one I have here. So I'm going to work on this hand thing for the other two. Like this hand drawing that you see here, very faded because the opacity is down. I could turn the opacity up, but you still won't be able to see it that well. This is what I use to create this whole family tree, which I can now delete because I no longer need it. But I'm going to do that for the Beaumont and the Smythe family, so that way between tomorrow and Friday I could try to finish those up to finally tackle the Davenport family tree, and then I'll likely return to doing some writing next week, but I'm probably going to start packing this weekend, but I'll know by Friday. So on Friday I'm either going to say see you Monday, or I'm going to say see you in September. I would say the main family tree is the Conroy family tree because they're the ruling family. So for me, that's why I did them first, because it's got the kings and the queens and all of that. But from this family tree spawns other things. So, or there are other families ingrained in the Conroy family, such as Eleanor Wakefield's in there. You've got the Penningtons in here. You've got the three sisters who are the Cropleys. You've got the Davenports who are over here, where Gertrude Conroy married the two brothers and then had all these children, and they're going to get their own family tree. So to me, honestly, the main trees would be the three founding fathers, right? So it would be the Conroy family tree, the Maranigan family tree, and then eventually I will do a family tree for the Traveler, but even though I'm gonna do it, I might not reveal it for quite some time. But that's the trilogy, the trifecta of the founders of Magicianary in this world. So yes, I am moving again. I'm moving back east to New York. So I bought a house. I think I told you I bought a house. I bought a nice little house. Well, actually not little house, 5-bedroom, 3 bathrooms. It's got chicken coop, 2-car garage, backyard that's the size of a football field. It's pretty big. Well, we want to get out of the city for one, and we want to be as isolated as possible for two. So we're going to be in a very rural area in upstate New York. Yeah, so we're hoping that we can start officially packing this weekend, um, which is why I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow morning because we have to go out and do things, etc., etc. Okay, so I just exported the Lyford family tree again. However, I can't add it to my website because I just shut down the internet, or the browser on my computer. So, but I'm going to end my stream here so that I can go seek out snacks and do some other things like work on the hand drawings of these two family trees so that I can try to do one, if not both of them tomorrow, which would be nice because then I'll have like 6 family trees all done and ready to go. Yeah, pretty awesome. So thanks for stopping by, Silent Willow, and I will hopefully be streaming around this time, if not earlier, tomorrow. Have a good night, or morning/afternoon.